If you receive Social Security or disability payments, you need to watch this because some recipients haven't been receiving their payments and some are being blocked from their funds.
A Michigan couple lost in the shuffle. Tonight they're speaking out after their Social Security payment never arrived.
Even worse, they say the program completely lost track of them, and they're not the only ones.
And found countless others in the same boat.
Roy Lee Jones, he's a double amputee in Sanford.
$1,284.
That's how much Social Security he's been getting every month since the 90s until February 2nd.
He just found out on the 2nd that he couldn't access his account. We had no gas to go anywhere to doctor's appointments.
For years, Thomas's Social Security was deposited onto a Direct Express card, which is a prepaid debit card for federal benefits. Thomas had $70,000 on his card and enlisted his daughters to transfer the money into a bank account.
It wasn't working. It was just stuck.
In this video, we're going to break down what has been happening and what you need to do if this happens to you.
This right here is a lawsuit filed by the feds a little over a year ago. I went through it. Inside, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is claiming that Direct Express left over 20,000 people without their payment issues correctly resolved. But let me contextualize this for you.
Roy Lee Jones, he's a double amputee in Sanford.
$1,284.
That's how much Social Security he's been getting every month since the 90s until February 2nd.
He just found out on the 2nd that he couldn't access his account.
His Direct Express card wasn't loaded and the company told him they didn't have a record of him. His money has been deposited by Direct Express since the early 2000s. It's a third-party program serving over 3 million Americans.
We called. They said they have to verify him. Now, they just did that last year.
They sent in the verification again. You see here it was approved, and on the 4th, they say Direct Express said they'd send the money and a new card in 2 to 3 business days. Then the 10th rolled around, and there was still no sign of the money.
I'm panicking because our rent was due on the 3rd. We had no gas to go anywhere to doctor's appointments.
They finally got in touch with someone from Social Security and were told to go open a bank account. So they did, and they hope the money is deposited this week. After I reached out, Direct Express tells me they're following up with Roy directly.
I took a deeper look. Turns out this issue isn't unique to Heather and Roy. The BBB is flooded with similar recent complaints, many of them in Michigan. One woman I found, she's in Warren, and she says her money didn't appear in February either.
It's issues like this that prompted the lawsuit. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau tried to sue Comerica Bank in 2024 for harming Direct Express cardholders. The feds even said Direct Express failed to timely investigate cardholders' notice of error and failed to report the results of its investigations back to cardholders. And for Heather and Roy, the experience is like deja vu.
It's like going back into that same thing that happened 5 months ago. He didn't get his check for it was 3.5 weeks.
Now, because of issues like this, Comerica says it's no longer running the Direct Express program, and Fifth Third Bank has taken over managing the program.
Now, in this case, these cases was at the time being handled by Comerica Bank. And because they had so many issues, especially this year, they were taking those accounts from them to manage. And now a new bank have taken over. But this problem is still persisting.
I needed to find a place.
Thomas Keppen just moved into a manufactured home in Palmyra, but the home sale almost didn't happen because Thomas couldn't access his own money.
It wasn't working. It was just stuck.
For years, Thomas's Social Security was deposited onto a Direct Express card, which is a prepaid debit card for federal benefits. Thomas had $70,000 on his card and enlisted his daughters to transfer the money into a bank account. The transfer wouldn't go through.
We just weren't getting any response, so we were making phone calls and we would get hung up on. He was, beside himself. He's like, I'm not going to get my money.
As the Keppens saw it, their only other option was withdrawing her dad's money in smaller amounts every day from ATMs all over town. That would have taken weeks because of ATM withdrawal limits.
It's mine, okay? But I couldn't get it. And I was in limbo what the heck do I do?
Stacy says they sent the required documentation to Direct Express. When that didn't work, they wrote to Contact 6. Contact 6 wrote to the U.S. Bureau of the Fiscal Service. Within 2 weeks, the Keppins got the help they needed to transfer the money. Fifth Third Bank is the financial agent for the Direct Express program. It sent Contact 6 a statement saying every attempt was made to meet the cardholder's request while satisfying required verification and security requirements. At present, all security concerns have been fully addressed.
This is basically the master bedroom.
Weeks later, Thomas is settled into his new home, closer to the daughters, willing to do whatever it took to get him here.
Now you can see that these accounts are now with Fifth Third Bank, but the problem is still going on. Now, what do you need to do if you have this happen to you? Because if you're not able to access your funds, you can't pay your bills, and this can damage your credit history. Now, number one, if you're having some resistance, once you contact the bank, then you need to file a complaint with the CFPB, which is the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. And you want to make sure you document your calls and also get the reps that you're talking to. And you do want to make sure that you don't have all your funds at one bank and one basket. Now, these are debit cards that people are using with Direct Express, but not to keep all your money there, because these are still banks managing these accounts and they're lending out and using that money. And so a lot of times this look like they don't want to release these funds and you want to protect yourself. So make sure you pull money off that card and have another bank account or even keep some cash on hand. And you may want to even improve your credit so you can have some credit cards, even if you're on a fixed income, just to have a credit card for any emergencies if your cash do not come through. Even if you have trouble credit, it doesn't take long to improve your credit score. Like my client, Sean, was able to go from a 612 credit score all the way with his credit scores at 770 in a matter of 6 months. And now he's at an 803 credit score. If you need my help, that link is in the description of the video and in the pinned comment section. Make sure that you have lines of credit and also other accounts and cash on hand. If you run into these problems, always document who you're talking to and what their position is with the company. Write down your dates and time, because you definitely want to file a complaint, especially if you are really depending on these funds in order to pay your bills, your rent. You don't want to be evicted because you can't access your money. And maybe even if the full eviction doesn't go through and you get your funds, but it can tank your rental history, because now you even have credit reporting agencies tracking that information. So hopefully this information was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, leave it in the comments section. More detailed questions for me, you can go to my website and all your questions go directly to my cell phone. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned.